Hallo, wir sind wieder da bei Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. So, jetzt ist auch Pinchetti da. Und zwar auf 7. 4, 3, 6, 7 da hinten. Ne, 8. 7 hier.
Mr. Pinchetti, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness, sir. Everything's in my report.
And I've read it. You forgot to mention that you hold the keys to the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the crime was intentional.
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr. Pinchetti. Just be still for a few seconds.
Und beobachten. Das machen wir wieder mit allen. Hautentzündung, Schuppenflechte oder Allergie. Geflickte Löcher mehrmals repariert. Kleiner Blutfleck in Blut getreten. Aha. Ach da. Gefärbter Stoff, mehrmals nachgefärbt. Unglaublich geizig, Schwierigkeiten. Nee, das da.
You are the major domo of a rich mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide under heavy makeup a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
I do not have a lot of means. The pay is below what you might expect.
But you could easily change your job if your employer does not meet your elementary needs.
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
I don't actually know. Perhaps from a guest?
Hatten Sie das Opfer?
Did you know Fabio?
Not personally. He was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always Fabio-centric.
And Batista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
So, haben wir den auch. Okay, wieder was Neues. Huch. Kommt gleich. Mr. Pinchetti übersah den Blutfleck seitlich auf seinem Schuh, als es sich nach dem Mord wusch. Können wir das andere nehmen? Okay, ja, das ist schon mal gut. Fallmappe, das haben wir, das haben wir, das haben wir. Jetzt ist weg. Okay, wurde festgenommen, dort befindet sich auch seine konfiszierten Gegenstände. Ah, okay. Wir müssen die Gegenstände hier noch angucken.
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
Kurt Manchios Testament und Notiz. Eine kurze Notiz, die dem Testament beigefügt wurde, lautet: Santos, mein närrischer Faulpelz. Du hast mich angefleht, dich in meinem Testament zu berücksichtigen, und das habe ich hiermit getan. Anbei die aktuelle Fassung meines Testaments. Das habe ich nicht gelesen, ich Depp. Scheiße. Ja. Beweis präsentieren. Na gut. Nee, das Testament. Wo ist denn das jetzt?
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage. Isn't that a little extreme, even for a major domo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle. And I'm his next of kin. The only one. Mr. Manchios flatly refuses to pay a family member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love, cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a major domo.
For God's sake. I'm forced to dye and stitch my threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
My mother, my uncle's sister, had me illegitimately. She died and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
He thinks not. I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers. While he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties, he paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts for their disgusting relationship.
Okay, wieder Gedankenspiele. Gleich mehrere Sachen. Gleich was. Mr. Becchetti hoffte vergeblich auf Erbe, arbeitete unter miserablen Bedingungen für Mr. Manchios, weil er hoffte zu erben, vergeblich. Okay, noch was? Aha, noch was. Trat versehentlich in Blut. Wenn ich das andere nehme, dann ist das andere da, okay. Noch was. War der Brief für Mr. Manchios gedacht? Santos Pinchettis Aussage und der Inhalt des Briefes deuten darauf hin, dass der Brief für Kurt Manchios bestimmt war. Okay. Ne, sonst ist nichts mehr da. Okay, Fabios Brief. Okay, wir müssen mit Mr. Vogel reden, ne? Oder? Beweis präsentieren.
I'm not supposed to know anything about this.
Ach Quatsch.
I have reason to believe that the intended recipient of the incriminating letter may have been Kurt Manchios.
Well, that makes sense. Too bad I can't remember how I came to possess it. Though I did spend quite some time with Mr. Manchios during the party.
Unfortunately, even with an answer, that may still not be enough to clear you with the police. But fear not, I will persevere.
I hope your attempt to put things straight will make up for...
You being on a bender?
touché.
Aha. Wieder Beweis.
Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchios?
Oh. That could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchios?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
Okay. Dann da drüben auch noch, ne? Natürlich.
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of such a thing?
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Okay, nochmal ein...
You'd better ask someone else.
I've read the letter about your will. A harsh method of ridiculing Santos. I doubt he will use mustache wax when he wears no mustache to begin with.
Where did you get it? Is the slug here? Tell him. I shouldn't have to provide for him. He's a grown man who shouldn't sit on his uncle's neck. He conceives himself as my only heir.
And who is he to you?
He's a leech on my aging body. He has only added problems to my life since the death of his mother.
I fail to see why you made him your major domo.
He needed to know his place, so I taught him.
Aha. So, muss ich jetzt mit dem da unten auch reden?
Oh, what a long day.
Versuch's mal. Vielleicht auch noch mal reden.
Have you learned anything?
Nö. Ha. Okay, wieder Gedankenspiele. Oh. Im Rausch nahm Vogel den Brief an sich, Werner Vogel nahm den Brief an sich, als er unter dem Einfluss verschiedener berauschender Substanzen fand. Mankier schob Vogel den Brief zu. Ne, das da, oder? Wenn ich das andere mache? Nee. Ja. Wir machen das jetzt. So. Ist aber rot, ne? Ist auch rot. Also stimmt's noch nicht alles, ne? Nee, da fehlt noch was. Wir müssen noch mal reden. Fabius Brief. Aber wen? Gedankenspiele. Ach so. Ach so. Fabio brach Kurt Mankius das Herz. Naja, jetzt warten wir erstmal, ne? Was, nochmal? Hinweise, ne? Ich würde gerne das hier nehmen, aber ich darf nicht. Nee, ist noch nicht gelöst. Okay, vielleicht nochmal dahin gehen. Nee, nicht da. Nochmal Constable Oswald helfen. Über den Tod meiner Mutter. Ach so, ja, stimmt. Wo war der nochmal? Ist das der vom Archiv? Ja, ne? Ja, Beweis präsentieren.
This letter proves nothing. Fabio wrote it to Mr. Manchios. It's time to free Mr. Vogel.
Do you really think I'm that naive? I need proof, not words from his friend.
Very well. Mr. Pinchetti told me that Mr. Manchios was lavishing Fabio with expensive and eccentric gifts. The letter mentions rich rewards and attempts to buy Fabio with them. It was written to Mr. Manchios. Who else was showering Fabio with luxuries to buy him? It doesn't fit Mr. Vogel's character.
Look here. We had a deal. Give me the murderer and then take your friend with you. I won't budge otherwise.
Well, fine, but you're just wasting time.
Hä?
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
Okay. Warte mal, wir gehen nochmal raus hier. Nochmal darüber gehen. Da nochmal hin.
I'm busy. You've already used up your quota of me helping you.
Constable Oswald. Hä? Inspectors.
Please let me rest.
Ich möchte mich ausruhen.
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
Ach so. Beschuldigen.
I know who killed Fabio.
So I'm free to go, sir?
Quite the opposite. I think it was you, Mr. Pinchetti.
That is not possible.
Allow me to explain.
Das Blut an ihrem Schuh verrät sie.
The blood on your shoe tells me that you were with Fabio. You stabbed him with the dagger while he was still alive. You drew a sigil on him. There was
keine Ahnung,
a
ob
great
das stimmt.
deal of blood. You needed to remove it. Blood is almost like glue. It sticks to everything, dries quickly, and is quite visible. But you know how to handle stains. You are Kurt Manchios's major domo. However, despite your best efforts, you missed a spot.
It doesn't make sense, sir. I was never there. I am convinced there's a reasonable explanation.
Sie wollten loswerden.
You wanted to be rid of your dear uncle. I myself barely know him and already find him intolerable. You've worked for him for years. Santos, do this. Santos, do that. He doesn't pay you. He doesn't recognize your work. He doesn't see you as family. But you thought that heritage might be yours. Instead, all you'll ever receive is mustache wax. It is painful to witness such a situation. I cannot imagine how it must be for you. So you decided to frame your uncle. Put the blame for Fabio's murder on him. That way, the heritage is yours, and you are free of him.
Half of what you say is true. I'm in pain. I have had a hard time with my uncle, but I'm not a murderer. I can't even stand up to my uncle. How could I have killed Fabio? He did nothing to me.
He was a source of your troubles too, though. Especially since Mr. Manchios treated him like a king.
Sie haben's
You
inszeniert.
staged this decadent ritual so you would not be suspected. After a short fight, you knocked Fabio unconscious. You locked the door and dragged the body to the altar. You wanted to set up someone acquainted with this masquerade.
I don't have the nerve to kill or stage a murder. I can't even leave my uncle's house.
Kann jetzt versuchen, ihnen zu helfen.
Your uncle is a cruel man. He used everyone around him to his advantage. I don't believe he even truly loved Fabio. You knew very little love, support, or care from him. You lost your mind, Santos. And innocent people were hurt. I can't allow you to go free, but I can try to help you. I can provide my findings to the police. Decadence and perversity might poison anyone around them.
I don't know what to say. I can't breathe. I need to go outside.
Unfortunately, you can't.
Okay, Gedankenspiele. Verlor den Verstand. Geht's immer noch nicht, oder was? Polizeiliche Untersuchung, immer noch. Ich soll den Constable über meine Erkenntnisse informieren. Okay, dann gehen wir nochmal hin.
Constable, Santos Pinchetti killed Fabio. The evidence is clear.
Is that so? Huh. A man like him has actually grown a pair.
He intended to set up his uncle for the inheritance. The old man had humiliated him for years in every possible way.
Oh, what a bunch of degenerates.
Well, as for Mr. Pinchetti, the evidence tells us that he was wronged and pushed to commit a crime to be rid of his uncle. I suggest that you help in easing his sentence.
That's a sad story, all right. But at least it's good enough for my promotion. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones. Including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
Oh, 40. Abgeschlossen. Polizeibericht Nummer 743. Als die Beamten eintrafen, fanden sie die Verstorbene, die als Mrs. Violet Holmes identifiziert wurde, tot im Garten des Anwesens Stonewood Manor vor. Eine erste Untersuchung der Leiche ergab, dass sie völlig durchnässt war und einen tiefen vertikalen Einschnitt im Halsbereich von 2 Zoll Länge aufwies. Ihr Gesicht war aufgedunsen und mit roten Flecken übersät. Vermutete Todesursache Sauerstoffunterversorgung. Eine Bestätigung durch den Gerichtsmediziner steht allerdings noch aus. Der Hauptverdächtige, Dr. Otto Richter, wurde am Tatort festgenommen. Die Leiche wurde für eine Autopsie abtransportiert. Oh Gott. Ah, es geht nichts.
Garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.
Okay. Ah, Mutterliebe haben wir jetzt was Neues. Sehr gut. Mutter ist nicht ertrunken. Genau. So, was haben wir diesmal? Vergessene Erinnerungen. Eine weitere Erinnerung aus meiner Kindheit ist an die Oberfläche getreten. Ich erinnere mich an blühende Bäume. Ein großer Garten. Okay, das heißt, wir müssen jetzt da hingehen, ne?
Oh, you did it, Sherlock! The case is closed and all rewards belong to the winner. Bravo!
It is merely the triumph of the truth.
Is it? No compromises? No lies? You're happy with your decisions?
Akzeptabel.
It was the best decision I could obtain. The truth must be told in the way it is most acceptable.
You're making progress, Sherlock. I was right to believe in you. By the way, did you get that precious information about your mother? Oh, not that you must.
Yes, I did.
Forgive my intrusion in such a personal matter. I simply worry I'm failing to be of much help to you.
Actually, you were. For some reason, all the archives on the case had disappeared. This was a rare opportunity to obtain the impossible.
Outrageous. Perhaps someone found the truth unpleasant. Society usually rejects those who speak with too much honesty, doesn't it?
A comfortable lie is often preferred to an uncomfortable truth. Still, I believe that the latter should prevail, and I cannot remain silent.
That's quixotism at its best. Your mere truth cannot defeat institutions, systems, and power. Etiquette, religion, marriage, they're all lies told to preserve connections, love, and sanity, and it's all corruptible.
Lies destroy human dignity. How could you make a free decision without any knowledge of the truth?
Are we really free to decide anything in this world, Sherlock?
Wir sind frei.
Oh yes. It's a struggle, but yes, we can make our own decisions. That's what I fight for.
And what an endless fight it is. Will you ever give yourself a break, Sherlock? You're a walking contradiction, Sherlock. You refuse to lie to others, but constantly lie to yourself. How long until the train comes off the track? I cannot look away, but perhaps I should take a few steps back. You're an accident waiting to happen, dear. Until then, I shall bid you adieu.
Droht er mir oder was? So, umziehen. So, jetzt sind wir wieder der Alte. Okay, jetzt müssen wir mal zurückgehen zu unserem Haus wieder. Stonewood Manor. Machen wir aber erst in der nächsten Folge hier bei Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 und dann gehen wir durch die Tür. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.